Hello there, welcome to the channel. My name is James, and here at 20th and 21st Movies, we are about all things cinema. We got another Criterion Collection 4K Ultra HD review for you. This time it's another film from David Lynch coming into the Criterion Collection at spine number 1152. It is his 1997 film, Lost Highway. This film stars Bill Pullman, Patricia Arquette, Balthazar Getty, Robert Loggia, and Robert Blake in a fantastic thriller, mystery, very interesting film that is a little bit difficult to get your arms around at first, but once you understand what's going on, man, this is a really fascinating, mysterious, brilliant narrative put together by David Lynch. And I have to say, I really enjoyed going through this release. So I'm going to talk about what I think about this movie, what I think about the 4K video quality. This is a 4K Ultra HD Blu-ray combo pack. So I'll tell you what the picture looks like, and I'll also talk a little bit about the special features. There are some nice supplements on the Blu-ray of this combo pack that I'm holding here, and it is a Digipack edition. So you'll note that, of course, you have the whole Digipack action going on, which is very nice, which I appreciate. And that is similar to all other David Lynch releases. I think all other David Lynch releases in the Criterion Collection. Of course, David Lynch is no stranger to the Criterion Collection. There's a number of titles in the collection already, including Twin Peaks: Fire Walk with Me. You've also got The Elephant Man, Mulholland Drive, Blue Velvet, and there's another film in the collection that's not directed by Lynch himself, but it's about Lynch, called David Lynch: The Art Life. So a number of David Lynch directed films and films related to David Lynch in the Criterion Collection. The only one I don't have is David Lynch: The Art Life. So let me know in the comments section if that is a title that you would recommend that I pick up as part of maybe this November 50% off sale at Barnes & Noble. We shall see. But anyway, let me just share with you my thoughts on what I think about this release of Lost Highway. This is my first time seeing this movie. I had never seen it before, didn't know anything about it, so I went into this film completely blind. And I have to say, I really enjoyed watching this film. I did not fully understand or comprehend what was going on at first, but if you stick with it, and you begin to understand and unravel the mystery of what's going on, it's a very rewarding experience. So let me take a moment to read the back of the Criterion case here, which gives a little bit of description of this film. It says, Lost Highway. We've met before, haven't we? A mesmerizing meditation on the mysterious nature of identity. Lost Highway, David Lynch's 7th feature film, is one of the filmmaker's most potent cinematic dreamscapes. Starring Patricia Arquette and Bill Pullman, the film expands the horizons of the medium, taking its audience on a journey through the unknown and the unknowable. As this postmodern noir detours into the realm of science fiction, it becomes apparent that the only certainty is uncertainty. That is a nice way of describing this film without giving anything away about the wonderful mystery and thriller elements of this brilliant film from David Lynch. Let me add a couple of other details here to sort of help flesh this out a little bit more, again, without spoiling anything. So you got Bill Pullman. He is playing Fred Madison in this film. He is a saxophonist. He's married to Renee Madison, played by Patricia Arquette. They are living in a nice little house and they're married, but they're unhappy. They're just not clicking together. They're not at a good place in their marriage. And Fred is suspicious of Renee. He's suspicious that maybe she might be unfaithful to him. So there's that bit of tension in the relationship. They receive some videotapes on their doorstep, which shows footage of their house. Shows a video of their house, and they receive these videotapes, a couple of them. And so they're taking these VHS tapes and plopping it into the VCR. So you have these older TVs from the 90s, and they're watching this footage of their house on the outside, and eventually more details of what's going on inside their house, including them. And that's where the mystery begins to take shape. You have this this uneasy relationship in their marriage. And then you have some outsiders who are videotaping them, and you begin to figure out, okay, what is going on? Why are they being surveilled? What is happening in their relationship? Some pretty interesting things happen from there, which then leads you down a path of mystery and other characters that come into the mix. Now, I'm talking around the narrative of this, but I'm just trying to give you an idea of what the film is about in terms of the relationship between Bill Pullman's character, Fred Madison, his wife, played by Patricia Arquette, Renee Madison, and other characters, including Baltazar Getty, who plays Pete Dayton. He's a mechanic who gets involved with Alice Wakefield, who's also played by Patricia Arquette in this movie, but has a relationship back to Fred Madison. So what is the relationship between Pete Dayton and Fred Madison? That's part of the mystery of this movie. Also, Robert Loggia plays Mr. Eddie and Dick Laurent, another mysterious element in this film. And then there's Robert Blake. He plays the mystery man who encounters Bill Pullman's character, Fred Madison, and he is the one who asks him, "We've met before, haven't we?" That's the mystery man, played by Robert Blake, who's asking that question to Fred Madison, played by Bill Pullman. So when you watch these elements going on, you just sort of let it sink into your mind and you begin to process, okay, what is going on in this movie, right? That's part of the satisfying journey of this film, Lost Highway, and the twists and turns that it takes you along the way. I'm trying to do the best job I can giving you a little bit of information about this movie without telling you anything of the mystery of it. So I don't want to spoil it. This is a film that you need to experience for yourself. So if you are left a little bit confused and uncertain about what is exactly happening in this movie, it's by design. I'm not trying to let you know exactly what's happening. I'm just wanting to give you just enough information for you to have some idea of the structure, potential structure of the narrative. This film deals with some really interesting elements such as, psychogenic fugue or dissociative identity disorder. And it deals with, concepts of what the mind, does to protect itself from horrific things or, different kinds of reality and perceptions of reality. Those are the types of things that are dealt with in this movie brilliantly by this screenplay written by, I believe David Lynch wrote the screenplay for this movie. And it's part of the description on the back of the Criterion case talking about cinematic dreamscapes. This movie feels very dreamy in the way that the narrative plays out, and it's a very satisfying experience. That is where I will leave the description of this film. I enjoyed it. Once you understand what is going on and you begin to put the pieces together, it makes for a very satisfying cinematic experience. So I'll just leave it at that. So I enjoyed the movie, I dug it. Now, as far as how does this look on 4K Ultra HD, I'm gonna tell you in a nutshell, this is a very nice looking 4K Ultra HD disc. So as I was watching this movie, I was just, looking at, certain things like, how does the detail look? This is a very dark film, so there's a lot of dark scenes in this movie. How do those dark scenes hold up? Is there, nice definition and detail even in the shadows? And to make a long story short, this film looks wonderful in pretty much every shot that I looked at in this movie. There's wonderful detail, nice contrast, nice depth and clarity in the image. The image looks very clean. I noticed quite a bit of detail in the shadows, even in those darker scenes. It just all looks really nice and is a very beautiful presentation of this film. I mean, there's wonderful detail. The black levels look really nice, which is quite important considering the number of dark sequences that you see in this movie. And there is a very nice amount of detail and definition of the characters as they're moving through those dark spaces. So overall, very, very nice 4K Ultra HD image across all elements of picture quality. Now, I have never seen this on Blu-ray or DVD or any previous home video release, but I have to believe that this is the best that this picture has ever looked on home video and will probably be the definitive release of this film for some time. So definitely solid picture quality overall for this 4K Ultra HD disc. I have not had a chance to watch the Blu-ray or do any comparisons of 4K versus Blu-ray, but the 4K looks wonderful on this 4K disc. Now, as far as the special features, this is a pretty nice package overall. Now, David Lynch is known for being pretty, keeping his plots and the meaning of his movies pretty close to the vest. But in going through the special features, you do learn quite a bit, even from him, directly from him, about what this movie is about and the themes this movie is covering. And I really did appreciate that aspect of this release. So when you open up the Digipack, this is a Digipack edition from the Criterion Collection. You'll see that you get 2 discs. You get a 4K Ultra HD and you get a Blu-ray disc. And when you look on, and of course you see this image of this hut on fire, which is part of the imagery in the movie. Fascinating imagery as this mystery unravels. And then you see this side here. Very, very cool imagery there. When you take the discs out, you just have, I believe you just have a black, yeah, it's just black there. So nothing significant to note there in that aspect of the case. But overall, you have some pretty nice art on the disc, on the Digipack. You see some artwork on the inside here of the box here. See the front cover, Lost Highway, and the back, and the spine, Lost Highway. On the inside, you get this stapled booklet here, which shows some pretty nice imagery. This is an interesting shot from the film that has great significance that I will not spoil for you. Nice shot there of Miss Patricia Arquette here in the car, playing Alice Wakefield in this case. But some wonderful pictures in this booklet. Of course, in this booklet, you get information on the cast. You also get a wonderful write-up in here that's called "The Home is a Place Where Things Can Go Wrong, Lost Highway." And this is an excerpt from an interview with David Lynch from 2005 that is very, very nice. That gives you some very nice information from that interview with David Lynch. So definitely worth checking out for sure. And then as far as the special features on here, there are some pretty nice features listed on the back here. And I had a chance to go through most of these features. So you get, of course, on the 4K Ultra HD, you get Dolby Vision HDR. You get 5.1 DTS surround, DTS HD master audio. The audio sounded just fine. It was pretty front heavy, but you did get some nice atmospheric sounds across the soundscape, traveling through the surrounds on my 7.1 system. So you get some of those atmospherics going on the surround channels, but for the most part, you're getting pretty much all the audio information from those front channels. So I was pretty happy with the audio presentation on this 4K Ultra HD disc, this 5.1 surround DTS HD master audio soundtrack. But you get on here Pretty as a Picture, The Art of David Lynch, which is a feature-length 1997 documentary, which is really nice, which I enjoyed going through that. You also have reading by Lynch and critic Christine McKenna of excerpts from their 2018 book, Room to Dream. Now, this is similar to the feature that's on the Elephant Man release from the Criterion Collection. There's also an excerpt from there with Lynch and McKenna of Room to Dream on that edition as well. You also have archival interviews with Lynch and actors Patricia Arquette, Bill Pullman, and Robert Loggia, which are very nice. They give a lot of insight on what it was like working on this film and their experiences working on the movie and just their own perspective on what this movie is about without giving away anything, and just their experiences making this film and acting out these characters, which I thought was very interesting. There's also a very nice interview, very nice footage of interviews with David Lynch, with him talking about the making of this movie and his thought process that went into making this film and the history of making this film and how he initially worked with Barry Gifford on putting the story together, how Barry Gifford had a story idea, Lynch had a story idea, and they hated each other's ideas, but they eventually were able to come together and put together a nice film that would ultimately become Lost Highway. And just, sharing how he came up with the idea for the dissociative identity and what the inspiration was, from that. And just, concepts like just the different kinds of reality that we experience and how, if you were to see a video of something that you remember, that there's gonna be differences between what that video is showing and what you remembered about that event, that you're gonna remember it differently than it actually happened. And that's part of the theme that he's getting at with Lost Highway, that the way we remember things can be different from what actually happened. So overall, this is a really nice release from the Criterion Collection from David Lynch. And I think that as I have time to process this movie, this film is going to definitely raise in the ranks for me amongst David Lynch's films. If I were to rank his films, for me, my favorites from him are definitely Mulholland Drive at the top, probably followed by The Elephant Man, and then all the others kind of fall, on the next rung down. This film here, Lost Highway, is such an amazing film. It's probably gonna very quickly raise in the ranks for me amongst David Lynch's films. So overall, those are my thoughts on Lost Highway. This is a nice addition from the Criterion Collection, and I can definitely recommend it, especially if you do not already have this on Blu-ray, you don't already own this in your physical media library. This is an excellent 4K Ultra HD disc with a wonderful presentation, and the features on here in this edition, on this Blu-ray, really do a nice job of telling you a little bit more about the production, about the filmmaker, about his thoughts that went into this movie, and the principal players, what their experiences were making this really fascinating mystery thriller. So that's where I'll leave it. This is a great addition from the Criterion Collection. Definitely one that you might want to consider for this upcoming November sale at Barnes & Noble, as well as many other titles that are coming out during the month of November. So definitely keep Lost Highway from David Lynch in mind. Definitely recommended. Let me know in the comment section below, what do you think of Lost Highway? Let me know what your favorite films are from David Lynch, and also let me know what are some titles that you are looking forward to picking up in this upcoming Barnes & Noble Criterion Collection sale. Let me know all that in the comment section below, and as always, thanks for watching, and we'll look forward to seeing you next time at the movies. Peace.